Who says love isn't scary?
We are on the 36th episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? This one's called The Tale of the Dream Girl. It's Season 3, Episode 10, and it's a more mature episode. We have a thoughtful story revolving around love and cast members that are quite a bit older than the 12-year-olds we usually get, high schoolers. It's written by David Preston, who previously wrote The Tale of the Dollmaker and The Tale of the Fun Police. This will be an episode told by Sam, who focuses more on love stories, played by Joanna Garcia. But before she gets into the picture, we get Tucker and Kiki and their arm wrestling. Kiki being the upbeat tomboy, and Tucker being the smaller, younger, annoying brother who was there to just cause havoc, and he ends up losing to Kiki. So she's stronger than him. He blames this, of course, on people distracting him, but let's be real, he would lose anyways. Sam mentions her stories about love. There are some groans from this Midnight Society, but she's going to win them over in the end. And Dream Girl is one of the highest rated episodes. I can absolutely see why. It has a great twist at the end, and I actually watched this episode twice. As soon as I finished it, I'm like, I have to watch this episode over to see all the little things I missed. So the story starts with a brother and a sister, Johnny Angeli and Erica Angeli. They work together in the bowling alley. Johnny is the repairman, and Erica works as a waitress. This place is called Bowlarama, and Johnny's a bit frustrated with his job. He feels like his boss is not giving him enough attention. In fact, he's giving him absolutely zero attention. He's repairing these lanes, he's doing all the heavy lifting, and he's just not being acknowledged as such. He goes into his locker at work and finds a ring. So he puts it on his finger and he's not able to remove it. He then starts to get haunted by this ghost named Cheryl Lightheart, who asks for his ring back. But of course, Johnny's not able to take it off. But he also begins to fall in love with her. He's very attracted to her and wants to be with her, but just can't figure out how. Sometimes she gives him the cold shoulder. So I will be ruining the ending of this episode, because this one is so rewatchable. You'll notice that nobody's acknowledging Johnny, except his sister Erica. He tries to talk to these girls, they ignore him. He walks around this bowling alley, nobody really cares. His boss won't talk to him, and he's told by his sister. His mother won't even acknowledge him. He says goodnight to his mom, and she just walks up the stairs. So something's going on here. You get some vibes on what this might be. Is this Are You Afraid of the Dark going M. Night Shyamalan in 1994? Erica decides to show Johnny that this girl, Cheryl Lightheart, is, as we assume, a ghost. She actually died in a car crash with her boyfriend, and actually shows him this news article, which maybe he should have read, because we'll go over it at the end, but this news article explains the entire plot. And you can see, even in a kid's series like this, they're taking care to make sure as many things can line up as being plausible as possible. I like pausing it when they show news articles to see if they actually are giving you any details about this episode. In the case of this one, they absolutely are. Sometimes in movies, when you pause when they show a newspaper, it's just a bunch of nonsense. But he should have read this article, it would have helped him out. There's also a nice scene where Cheryl decides to meet Johnny at the bowling alley late at night. Now this bowling alley is closed, so he thinks when he shows up there, no one's going to be there, obviously. But that's not what happens. He gets some people that look like they're from the 1950s. He has this waitress that's working behind the bar that somehow knows his favorite dessert and his favorite soda. How does she know this? Then we get a nice dance sequence between him and Cheryl. So you know at this point, obviously, the people in this establishment late at night are ghosts. They do a good job of conveying this without telling you. It's kind of obvious. Why is there a person who's dressed up like in the 1950s? Why is this chick dressed up like the 1970s? It's because they died and they're now haunting this bar. And we know that Cheryl is a ghost as well. The question is Johnny a ghost? No, that's impossible. He can't be a ghost. Finally, Johnny does get a smart idea. He's going to go to a graveyard and figure out where she is buried. See if he can find some answers. Though, like I said, he could have just read the freaking article and it would have given him all the answers. Finally, Erica tells Johnny the truth that she didn't want to tell him all this time.
Maybe you've been here before. Did you ever think about that?
No way, why would I have been here? I mean, it's a cemetery. And I made Lyndon jump.
Yes, this is truly Are You Afraid of the Dark going 6 cents. Well, before 6 cents. Johnny was dead the entire time. But when you rewatch it, it makes complete sense. I checked to see if anyone else acknowledges him besides his sister, and the answer is no. There is one scene where these girls are talking with Cheryl, that one of them mentions that he's being a bit annoying, but it could also be possible these are all ghosts as well. Also, the girl doesn't really address Johnny. She's like, "Is anyone noticed there's something annoying here?" So yeah, this is a well thought out episode. It's a very sad one as well. And as I keep mentioning, please watch it 2 times, because the first time I watched it, I got halfway through and I was like, I don't understand why this episode's so highly rated. Nothing's happening. And then you get the ending, and then you rewatch it and you go, wow, all the references are there. This makes complete sense. And it's really sad at the end, since his sister Erica wants him to stay with her, but his girlfriend Cheryl, who died in the car crash with him, wants him to pass on. That's at least what's implied. He can go with Cheryl and go into Ghost World. Well, they don't mention things like heaven or hell on this show, but he's gonna pass on, and it seems like he's not gonna be able to haunt the living world ever again. Or he could stay with his sister. Of course, his sister wants him to stay with her, but she understands he has to eventually pass on. So it's really sad. On one hand, he does the thing he was supposed to do when he died. He goes into this ghost realm. On the other hand, his sister's really gonna miss him. For some reason, she was the only one that could see him. So she could talk to him, she could interact with him, she could hug him, but no one else on planet Earth was able to see him or hear him. Now, of course, there's the same plot holes you would get with something like The Sixth Sense. Wouldn't he realize this, that nobody's interacting with him besides his sister? Also, it's not exactly clear how long ago he died. He does mention that he's been working for 4 months without being acknowledged by his boss. And then if we see in the article, which we'll read in a second, says he's worked at this Bolorama for 2 years. So maybe 4 months? That's at least my guess. But this is the same quote-unquote plot hole you could have for any time that someone's a ghost. Why don't they realize it? Why don't they see people passing through them? Why don't they go to like buy a candy bar and be like, hey, this guy's not acknowledging me? So I think Tale of the Dream Girl is a great episode. And I can see why it's so highly rated. This is one that if I saw as a kid, I wouldn't like as much. Because I was like, where's the scary monsters? Come on. Give me some ghoul popping out of the pool. But as an adult, it's well written. This could pass off as not just a kid show, but an adult show, and it would work just as well. So it's going to get a 9 out of 10. Stick with it till the end, because it's not necessarily riveting all the way through, but it is building up to the climax, which is a great reveal. Let's read the news article that Johnny's sister Erica showed him that he should have read, and this is the best screenshot I could get. It's blurry. It's not a show in HD, but it's still readable. Monday morning was a testament to the deaths of 2 young residents of Dirkston, 16-year-old Donna Maitland, that's Dream Girl, and Johnny Angeli. He should have realized he was dead. Childhood sweethearts since the age of 10, Donna's mother, Sarah, related how the 2 victims were practically brought up together in the same cradle, and for the past 6 years have been inseparable. Same cradle? They were like babies? That's weird. The tragedy occurred shortly after 9 Saturday evening. Young Johnny had just purchased his first automobile after working for 2 years as a mechanic at the bowling alley. In order to celebrate this happy occasion, he had also bought a ring for his young love, Donna. The 1984 Chevy he was driving suddenly stalled on the train track, which crosses Darham Street. There you go, all laid out for you there, Johnny boy. I'll do your work for you. So the character Johnny is played by Fab Filippo, still acting to this day. He was in, I'm not going to say it. Okay, Ready or Not. Also 10 episodes of Queer as Folk, Delilah and Julius. And recently he's been writing and producing shows. So good for him, he's still going. Sister Erica is played by Andrea Nemeth, who was Heather in Scary Movie and The Babysitter, and Look Who's Talking Now. Next up is The Tale of the Quicksilver, which also revolves around ghosts. And check out our playlist for the other series that we've covered. Every single episode of Black Mirror, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Tales from the Dark Side, Monsters, Fear Itself, Mystery Science Theater 3000, and Twilight Zone. Thanks.